morning to one and all. Myself, Naseem Khayum. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Engineering Sciences. So here today I am going to discuss about the energy sources. So firstly, I will briefly give an introduction about energy sources and its conversion phenomena. So basically, before going to this topic, we should know about energy, what is energy, what is power, and and their units. So energy can be defined as energy is the capacity of a physical system to do work. So generally, for energy, we use capital E for its designation. Its units are joules. So whereas power rate, it can be defined as rate of energy transfer or rate of doing work is called power. So power units are joule per second. So generally 1 joule per second is nothing but watt. So power can be defined in terms of watts also. So here a question rises for all of us. For generally, why these energy sources we should go for? What are energy sources? So in this slide, so basically you just focus on the non-renewable sources such as oil, coal, natural gas. Just keep in mind this one only. Later I will come to this slide and I will explain in detail about this one. So basically, oil, coal, natural gas. So why this topic come means if you see this figure 1, it is a World Energy Report. So this has been taken from the International Energy Agency IEA 2020. So in y-axis it can be referred as millions of tons of equivalent. It is as MTOE. It is a unit for energy equivalent. So whereas in x-axis we can take as years. So from 2020, if you see that, and the graph has been plotted up to 2030. So we see that here coal and nuclear power and gas and oil. So these are generally we are using as a in our daily lives. So these are drastically reducing. Its energy consumption is increasing. So this demand for this is very increasing. Because of that one, this oil, nuclear gas, and oil they are continuously increasing. So that's why its consumption is also increasing. That's why we are more focusing on renewables. That's why you can see here. And in 2020, we may reach up to almost 54% renewables. We are going towards renewables. Why? Because it is going to be depleted. Oil, gas, and nuclear coal, they are going to be depleted. That's why we are focusing more towards renewables. So now, what are renewables? So that's why from these words, energy sources will come. So energy sources basically there are two types. One is renewable sources and another one is non-renewable sources. And renewable sources also be termed as non-conventional sources, whereas non-renewable sources can be otherwise called as conventional energy sources. Conventional means in our daily purpose, if we use that one, then it can be called as conventional energy sources, which are nothing but oil, gas, natural gas, and coal. So when coming to sources of renewables, we have different types of renewables. So from where we can get renewables, like one is solar energy, one we can get from biomass also we can get, and another one tidal energy, and another one wind energy, and another one hydro energy. So in detail we will discuss about in our next slides about each and every topic. I will tell you in depth about about its production and conversion into energy. After that, when we come to a brief differences between renewables versus non-renewable energy sources, if we come to depletion, so it can be defined as renewable sources cannot be depleted. Why? Because it is continuously they are reproducing. That's why. Whereas non-renewable they are depleted. The example is watch oil, coal, they are continuously depleting. That's why oil, coal, and natural gas they are categorized into non-renewable resources. When coming to sources, renewable sources include sunlight, water, wind, and also geothermal sources such as hot springs and fumaroles. Whereas non-renewable energy sources include fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum. This is well known. When coming to environmental impact, as we know that renewable energy sources are having low energy, low carbon or less carbon. So that's why if we use for energy production, it will definitely lead to a less carbon footprint. That's why it is very user friendly and user environmentally also. Non-renewable energy has a comparatively higher carbon footprint and higher carbon emissions. Why? Because it contains a lot of carbon chains in it. When it burns, then definitely it will release CO2 into atmosphere. When coming to cost, the cost of renewable energy production is very high when compared to fossil fuels, whereas non-renewable energy has a comparatively lower. It is of course obviously. And when coming to infrastructure requirements, infrastructure for harvesting renewable energy is expensive. And when coming to cost effective, it is available for non-renewable across most of the countries. Area requirements requires a large and especially for wind farms and solar farms. When coming to non-renewable sources, comparatively lower area requirement. So finally, we can say that renewable and non-renewable sources are renewable sources such as solar, wind, tidal, geothermal, hydropower, hydrogen, biomass energy. So non-renewable energy sources such as coal, oil, petroleum, and natural gas. So this in detail we will discuss in our next slides. So types of energy sources. One is we will discuss in detail about thermal energy, hydropower energy, nuclear energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, hydrogen energy, biomass, and thermal energy. So in our next sessions, we will discuss deeply about this all of these topics. Thank you.